Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our Close-Up on the Caribbean webinar series. And this is our second episode where we are focusing on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we're joined today by Natasha, who's from the tourist board, and then also Charlotte, who's from Bequia Beach Hotel. And yeah, as always, please do feel free to ask questions throughout. And we're going to start with Charlotte first, who's going to tell us about Bequia Beach, and then we'll follow up after that with Natasha from the tourist board. But yeah, did you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit?
Hello. Yeah, absolutely. So, sorry, after you, Natasha.
Hello, I'm Natasha, based here in London for St. Vincent and the Grenadines Tourist Office, and hope we invite you to learn more about St. Vincent and the Grenadines this afternoon. Do enjoy.
Thank you. I'm Charlotte. I'm also UK based. I'm the UK representation for Beckway Beach Hotel, so I'm going to give you a bit of a whistle-stop tour of Beckway Beach and all it has to offer.
Great, thank you both. And yeah, so please do feel free to ask questions throughout, and I'll ask them to Charlotte at the end.
Brilliant. Thanks, Olivia. I'll just start with my presentation. Hopefully you can see this all okay your side.
Yep, that's perfect, full screen.
Fantastic. Okay, so the first thing I thought would be useful, as I mentioned, is to give you a bit of an overview of the island of Beckway. So Beckway is a small lightning bolt shaped island. It's located in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the southern Caribbean. So you can see it there on the map. So it's only 7 miles squared and it's only got a population of 5,000 people. So despite perhaps being one of the lesser known Caribbean islands, it's actually very easy to reach from both North America and from Europe. So from the UK and North America, the main gateway hub for reaching Beckway is Barbados. So obviously non-stop flight options throughout the course of the week into Barbados. And then once you land in Barbados, you have a choice. So you can either use SVG Air, which is the local carrier, which operates year-round connecting Barbados to Beckway. It's just a short flight of about 45 minutes. Or even better, and I'll give you some more information on this, as part of the property's portfolio, the owners actually have their own luxury VIP transfer service called Beckway Air. So it's a 9-seater aircraft, and during the peak season, so between sort of end of October, beginning of November, right until the end of April, beginning of May, it connects both Barbados and St. Lucia to Beckway. So a non-stop flight time from Barbados is about 26 minutes. St. Lucia is even closer, about 16 minutes. So you can arrive in resort for same-day arrival. The other thing just to mention on this map is you'll see the ferry symbol there. So there is now the new Virgin route, which operates between London Heathrow and St. Vincent. You would have to overnight in St. Vincent, and then you can get the passenger ferry across. So it takes about an hour on the ferry from St. Vincent on the mainland over to Beckway. So Beckway Air, as I mentioned, it's a luxury VIP service. So one of the main barriers to business that the owners quickly identified might be getting people to the resort and to the island of Beckway. So they invested in this beautiful aircraft. It's a King Air. It's very luxuriously appointed, pressurized cabin, and it's got 9 seats. So what happens is when you land in either Barbados or St. Lucia, you're met by a Beckway Air representative. They have your guest name on a paddleboard. It's a very seamless service. We'll take all your luggage, load it onto the aircraft, and then you just have that short hop over to Beckway. The one thing to mention is there are no landing lights on Beckway, so we do have to depart by 5 p.m. So we land before sunset. So this times in nicely with the inbound international arrivals, especially from the UK, from both Virgin and British Airways. They land about 3:30 in the afternoon, so you have that time to be able to transfer, get your luggage loaded, and you are in resort by sunset, sipping on a lovely rum punch or something equally refreshing. So there's a very useful tool which I can send in the follow-up. It's basically an online calendar, so it will show you which days of the week we operate which service. So at the moment, Barbados is 6 days a week and St. Lucia is 1 day a week. And it will say the number of seats left on each route as well. So really useful when you're having conversations, obviously with end clients, to see what the availability is like on various days before you make the booking. Our reservations team are fantastic as well, so headed up by our reservations manager, Atina. They're based in resort and they are very well versed in making sure that they can help you with any bookings for either SVG Air or for Beckway Air. So do reach out to them as well if you have any questions. So going back to the island itself, so what makes Beckway special? I think the best way to describe Beckway is like the Caribbean of yesteryear. It's almost like going back in time 50 or 60 years ago to what the Caribbean was like. It's a really friendly, safe, easy to navigate island, and it's very authentic. So it's not a type of place you'd have to get dressed up for dinner. It's come as you are. Everybody is very friendly and welcoming, and the resort itself is set on a beautiful white sand beach called Friendship Bay. We are privately owned by a Swedish family, so they split their time between the island and the UK and Sweden. And it really is a passion project for them. So they're always investing in new facilities. You can see our brand new saltwater infinity pool there with gorgeous views out as far as neighbouring Mystique. And the style of the property is kind of, again, that homely feel, very unpretentious. It's like the throwback chic. Lots of guests come back to us time and time again, and they often say, oh, I feel like I've come back to my second home, and that's what we're hoping to achieve. So the team are fantastic. A lot of team members have been with us since we first opened 12 years ago now. And we host weekly managers cocktail parties in this beautiful library and reception area, so a nice chance to meet fellow guests and members of the hotel team as well. So it's only 58 keys in total, so small and intimate. These are our beautiful beachfront suites. So these are all set right on that white sand Friendship Bay. They're all fully air conditioned and they do have fast Wi-Fi, but they don't have any TV. So that was something the owners consciously made a decision for you really to kind of unplug and unwind and just get onto island time really. So these are, again, the style of the rooms. They all boast private balconies as well. So some are on the first floor, some are on the ground floor. So literally just steps away from the beach. We've also got some villa categories too, so perfect for families. We are a family-friendly hotel. So we've got these lovely 2-bedroom pool villas, little plunge pools, sort of cheerful Caribbean colours, cottage-style accommodation. They do have small kitchens as well. And for something more luxurious, we've got our estate and palm villas as well, nestled slightly up on the hill overlooking Friendship Bay. In terms of food and drink, you've got your classic beach bar, so serving all day casual dining, great place to just grab a snack and of course a great cocktail in the evening. And our standard board basis is bed and breakfast. So we serve breakfast in Bagatelle restaurant there. So in the evening, it transforms into a beautiful restaurant, sort of focusing on fresh seafood. So a lot of catch of the day, but we've just launched new menus as well. So Caribbean curry, a bit more fusion dining. So that's open year round. We've also got Blue Tropic on site. So this is more of a Mediterranean, more of a rustic Italian flavours. So think pizza, pasta. That's open during the peak season and very popular with our guests. And then on the other side of the island, so on Princess Margaret Beach, it's about a 10-minute taxi ride away. So we offer a complimentary guest shuttle daily. It leaves at 10 o'clock in the morning, comes back about 4 p.m. I really recommend a trip to Jack's Beach Bar. So Jack's is something of a Beckway institution. What makes it really special is it's a kind of melting pot. So when you're there, you won't just be with hotel guests, you'll have expats, locals, the yachties come in. It's a really good atmosphere, and they have live music in the evening, so you can definitely dance on the beach with the sand between your toes. It's very family friendly. Again, I took my daughter when she was 6 months old, and yeah, she had a lot of attention there, and it's perfect calm waters as well for paddling because it's the Caribbean side of the island. So if you are there, do check out the lobster mac and cheese. That's delicious. and Rusty the dog cocktail is also another favourite. So yeah, that's the sunsets at Jack's. So a beautiful spot to have a sundowner and watch all of the yachts. Back at the hotel, we do have a small spa and a fully air-conditioned gym as well. We do complimentary guest yoga too in the yoga pavilion. And really exploring the wider Grenadines, lots of guests use Beckway as a starting point. So you can just go off and explore the neighbouring islands. So Mystique, I mentioned, its glamorous neighbour. There's Tobago Keys, great for snorkeling. You can swim with the sea turtles there. So lots of exploration to be done around the waters of Beckway too. So next I'm going to show you a short video for our brand new luxury villas called Grenadine Hills. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of Grenadine Hills. So these are our brand new 2 luxury villas. They're located about 2 kilometres from the main resort up on the hills, so completely private and self-contained. Villa 1 is 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. As you can see here, it's got an amazing wraparound infinity pool, beautifully designed. So you'd have your own team to look after you when you're staying as a guest of Grenadine Hills, including butler, housekeeping. We can arrange for nannies as well for children. It's worked really well for sort of multi-generational families or larger long stay groups. So you have bed and breakfast as standard. Breakfast is served in your villa, and then you can choose to use the services of a private chef should you wish, be self-catered, or some guests have even done half board down at the resort restaurants as well. So I think the beauty of these villas is you can dip in and out of the resort life should you wish, or as I said, you can be completely kind of self-contained and secluded. So gorgeous views. There's nothing quite like it on Beckway, super luxurious. And then the sister villa, Coral Hills, only about 500 metres apart. So if you did have a really large group or 2 families who wanted to be adjacent, this works really well. There's a shallow end of the pool there, perfect for paddling for children. There's a gym suite, there's a wine cellar. So there's more information on the website. And we do have a promotion, an agent incentive running at the moment, which I'm sure you'll receive some details on soon. We do also have some late availability left for this winter season. So if you do have any VIP villa clients, then please let me know, and I'd love to be able to work with you to help with those inquiries. So that's it from me. Just finally, really also to mention, with Beckway Air and the inter-island transfers, Beckway pairs really nicely with neighbouring islands like Barbados. So we do have a lot of guests who do have a twin centre with Barbados. They might do a few days in Barbados and then a week in Beckway. So it's really nice to have the contrast of 2 different places. So yeah, any questions, please do let me know. And I'll hand back to Olivia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. That was wonderful. And yeah, it looks so beautiful, and something that actually I think we've been definitely had quite a lot of inquiries for recently. And my colleague actually sent out a newsletter earlier today, and there was like a whole section of it on Bequia Beach. So yeah, it's a great time to be selling it, and yeah, having a lot of inquiries for it, and it's yeah, really, really beautiful property. So please do come through to us if you have anything that you need to know on the property, and I can check with Charlotte. There's no questions at the moment, but if you do think of anything, then just let me know and I can get back to you a bit later on it. But yeah, thank you so much again, Charlotte, for joining us. And yeah, I'll come through to you if anyone has any questions.
Thank you very much, Livia. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. And now we have Natasha. So yeah, doing the general overview PowerPoint from the tourist board. So I'll hand over to you now, Natasha.
I'm having a bit of a technical difficulty. Just one moment.
Oh no, it's working. It's like the front cover.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah. So we can see it says St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and then it has like some links on the right-hand side with like Facebook and Instagram and stuff.
Okay, I have lost that part of it, so I'm trying to get it back.
Oh, yeah, we can see that page. Do you want to try clicking next and see if it moves? Can you see like the main screen that has like this?
Yes, I'm finally seeing it. Everybody is still seeing the screen?
Yeah, so we can see it says St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the left-hand side, and then like some Instagram, some like links on the right-hand side.
Wonderful.
Great.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as Charlotte mentioned, just one moment again, it's sorry about that. So we are located in the Eastern Caribbean, specifically the Southeastern Caribbean. And as you can see here on the map, we're sandwiched between St. Lucia to the north, Grenada to the south, and Barbados to the east. Just a bit of factual information about St. Vincent and Grenadines. We are pretty small, 389 kilometers square, and the destination consists of multiple islands, 32 islands and keys, in fact, 9 of which are inhabited and 3 of which are island resorts only. So St. Vincent is the principal island. Then from St. Vincent, there is Young Island, which is an island resort. Then there is Beckway, Mustique, Canawan, Myro, Union Island, Palm Island, and Petit St. Vincent. To be in the know, or to at least let persons know that you are familiar with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you will refer to Vincentians. You will refer to the nationals as Vincentians or Vincies. Of course, the main language is English, and we are on the Eastern Caribbean dollar currency, which is pegged to the US dollar. And as you know, the Caribbean, it's usually dry or wet. We're on the Atlantic Standard Time, which means that at present it's a 4-hour difference, and once there is daylight saving time, it will be 5 hours. As Charlotte mentioned, to get to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there is a direct flight from Virgin Atlantic, and that's currently, as of December 4th, it's currently 3 times weekly, which is Sunday, Mondays, and Wednesdays. And the flight time is about just a little over 9 hours. The main gateways to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as would have been previously mentioned, is Barbados and St. Lucia. And between Barbados and St. Lucia, there are SVG Air Inter-Caribbean, Beckway Air, Liat, and Caribbean Airline. For persons who are opting to do Barbados, for example, as a gateway to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there is a help desk in the Barbados airport. That's Grantley Adams, and that help desk is manned by a Vincentian, Mrs. Caroline Hinson. So for anyone who may be passing through Barbados to get to St. Vincent and Grenadines, this contact is very important and can assist you with anything once you're in transit to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, because we're a multiple island destination, there are several ways to get between the islands, and we always encourage persons to try and do more than one of the islands. For example, you can have a twin center right in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and one way of getting between the islands would be via air. And there are several airlines that do that. That would be SVG Air, Grenadines Alliance, Beckway Air, and also Mustique Air. There are also optional ferries, and one of the main recommendations that I give would be do a twin center between St. Vincent and Beckway, because you have the option of multiple ferries running daily as well as the flight option. And because you're so close apart, it's quite easy. Now, there's the Beckway Express, Admiral Ferry, the Jade and Sun Fast Ferry. These three all run between St. Vincent and Beckway quite frequently, and also Jade and Sun Fast Ferry will go from St. Vincent to the other Grenadine Islands throughout the week, as well as the MV Gemstar. Now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not a mass tourism destination. In fact, we're quite niche. The destination actually has more water territory than land, about 4.5 times more. And as a result of that, our underwater life is quite vast. In fact, we're known as the critter capital of the Caribbean and have over 100 dive sites, which includes dramatic cliffs, caves, wreck and wall diving, and coral gardens. And the diversity in the diving is in part due to the fact that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, unlike most Caribbean destinations, has islands that are of volcanic origin and those that are of coral. Now, the principal island, St. Vincent, is volcanic in origin. And in fact, there is an active volcano on St. Vincent, and that is responsible for the lush and verdant forest that you would find there. As I mentioned, St. Vincent is lush and verdant, and it's in fact the eco-center of the destination. So there are quite a lot of eco activities centered on that particular island. And I mentioned the active volcano that you can hike, and on a clear day, you can see extremely beautiful views. In fact, on a very clear day, you can see the southern tip of St. Lucia, because St. Lucia is only 70 miles from St. Vincent, tip to tip 70 miles. Now, there is an abundance of nature trails and waterfalls, as well as tropical gardens. And as I mentioned, we do have quite a bit of water. And consequently, because the islands are within easy reach of each other, it's perfect for a sailing adventure. And romance is also one of our main niches. There are many quaint churches. There's the sail away option. You have quite a few options to do the barefoot and beach chic type weddings, and license are quite easily gotten in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You just have to be there for at least 24 hours. There are also a few featured festivals in the destination, principally Beckway Music Festival, which takes place in January, Beckway Easter Regatta, which usually happens around Easter time, and the main festival in the destination is called Vincent. This happens at the end of June, early July. And there is also a unique Christmas festival that's known as 9 Mornings. This festival takes place 9 mornings before Christmas, and throughout the destination you have different villages doing their particular version of 9 mornings, and a lot of it includes early morning sea bathing, caroling, getting together in a square, whether it be in Kingston, having quite a few funny type of what we call competition, like strongman competitions. So it's just about getting together, the camaraderie that Christmas tends to bring out in the communities. So it's really celebrating togetherness at this time of the year. Now, some of the featured activities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines include Madeira Valley Forest Park. And this one is special and dear to me because one of the things that they do is the fee is reinvested into the development and preservation of the park. There's also an opportunity to meet different villages. Richmond Vale Tours offer this, and they also give you the opportunity to understand the organic farming and sustainability tours that are in that particular part of the island. On St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a special little bar. And one of the reasons why I point this out is that it reminds me of the Rastafarian ethos of that farm to table type of lifestyle, the natural, rootsy, barefoot, very relaxed type of lifestyle. It's not a posh bar, but it's an opportunity for you to just relax and have a very organic, natural meal with locals. There's also a greenhouse cafe on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it's the first in the West Indies. It's a medicinal cannabis consumption lounge where you'll be able to get your prescription medicinal cannabis products, of course. There's also, what's the Caribbean, I should say, without a rum tour, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines is no different. There is a historic factory there that produced some award-winning rums, and one of the most famous is that of a very strong overproof rum. In fact, it's called Sunset Very Strong Rum, and once you've had one shot of that, you tend to see the sunset. So I would put that out there with a disclaimer. One of our newest tours is that of Coastal Adrenaline. It's an ATV tour that takes you into the interior of the country and allows you to learn about the history while admiring the atmosphere. On Beckway, we would have heard so much about Beckway already. There is this particular bar. It's a roving bar, and it's one of the best places to have a sundown on Beckway. So I would always recommend, if you're on Beckway, make sure you go there. You can take a water taxi out to the bar. It's usually in Admiralty Bay. There's also a really nice sustainability story on Union Island about the Ashton Lagoon. This is a project that the community worked on to ensure that the mangroves in the area are still intact. There's also some opportunities to have Instagrammable moments, as there are a series of several swing bridges where you can, of course, have your pictures taken over the water, and you can do bird watching as well as hiking at this site. On Union Island as well is a kite surfing school. In fact, it's one of the best in the Caribbean, and they also are perfect for persons who want to learn, as well as those who are advanced kite surfers. And I must mention that they have some of the most fantastic full moon parties throughout the year. And one of the main features of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is our marine park. That's the Tobago Keys Marine Park. This is a group of keys, 5 to be specific, that's located in a very beautiful setting. And for those of you who might be a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, that very first Pirates of the Caribbean was actually filmed in Tobago Keys. That particular scene where Johnny Depp is on a remote island and there were several rum barrels being burnt in the background. Perfect for a castaway style picnic, as well as snorkeling with turtles. Other popular experiences in the destination include Botanic Gardens. In fact, St. Vincent and Grenadines is home to the oldest botanic gardens in the Western Hemisphere. Fort Charlotte, which is a spectacular fort that offers 360 views. Multiple falls, as well as the La Soufrière volcano that I previously mentioned. And on Beckway, there is this really quaint motorboat shop that I always recommend people to check out once they're there. And what's a Caribbean destination without beach hopping? Now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, again, is unique in the sense that it offers a variety of beaches. On St. Vincent, because of the volcanic origin, most of the beaches are black sand. And on Beckway, you have spectacular white sand beaches. Throughout, as you go further along into the Grenadines, you just get better and more spectacular beaches. So there's also gold sand beaches on St. Vincent. And so we have white sand beaches throughout the Grenadines. On a clear day when the sun is dazzling and you squint your eye a bit, you can see pink sands on Canoan as well. Now, just don't take my word for it. I would like to give you a little visual of what St. Vincent and Grenadines has to offer.
Great, thank you so much, Natasha. It definitely makes me wish I was there rather than in dreary London. But yeah, we actually don't have any questions. I feel like everyone's a bit shy today, but if you do think of anything, then definitely send me an email and I can ask. There was actually a question before about Beckway Beach, and it was to do with the minimum night stay for certain periods, and there's a few different stipulations on that. So I'll send the email on that to that person directly. But yeah, if you do think of anything else, then just let me know, and I can ask to Natasha and to Charlotte after the webinar. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, Natasha, and showing us all the amazing things about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And hopefully we get loads of inquiries for the destination and for Beckway Beach. And yeah, stay tuned for our next Close Up on the Caribbean webinar, which we'll be doing in the new year. So yeah, thank you so much again. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Bye-bye.